So, Mr. Hinkong, this project uses supercrete, which sets very quickly. Can you describe why you chose to use supercrete on this project and what some of the benefits and challenges of that product are?
I think, first of all, the architect, Toyo wanted to use a concrete structure as an architectural expression as well as a structure. Very often in Singapore, we have buildings which are cladded, but in this case, since the structure is expressed, I think he wanted it to stay slim, and I think it is pretty slim, ranging from, for a 240-meter high building, the columns were 1 meter by 1 meter, all the way from bottom to the top. Consequently, I think the contractor had to devise a design in which the structure varies in terms of its construction. I think at the base it's composite steel and concrete structure, and in the middle portion where it is most crucial because the weight is still quite a fair bit, and we needed to do a precast construction because of the very tight site. Very short working hours, as well as the very tight time frame we have for the building. So in order to keep the concrete column to this small 1 meter by 1 meter size, I think the middle portion of the building required supercrete so that we can keep the columns small without losing the strength that is needed for it.
So tell me about the cool void,
Yes.
what it is, how it works, and what its benefit and function is in the building.
Typically, a vertical air shaft uses for chimney effect, where hot air rises and they produce air movement. However, our curved system is inspired instead by the traditional wind catcher used in the Middle East countries, capturing fresh and cool air on roofs and supplying cool breeze to lower levels. And in this case, air is driven by pressure produced by the wind. In case of CapitaGreen project, there is a 2-degree temperature difference between the ground level to 200 meters above ground. And there is a constant wind in Singapore. The unique flower form, we have something like a flower object on the top of the building. The form of flower optimize the amount of cool air captured at the sky forest. It's on the top of the building. And after the wind is being captured by the flower, it pulls the air from the sky forest all the way down to the office floors below. And the large heat capacity of the cool void structure is by concrete. It also utilized to achieve further cooling, the capturing air. According to the actual detected results of the system performance taken shortly after the building's completion, it's evident that the proposed mechanism performs effectively, achieving maximum 5-degree difference, temperature difference. Furthermore, the air supplied appears to have half of carbon dioxide content compared on the ground level, and thus providing a much cleaner and fresher air to the office floor. And the fresh air taken from 200 meters above the ground level is sent to the AHU, air handling unit, at each floor, since there is an air filter at each AHU to air cleaned when supplied to the office floor.
So even though it's pulling in a lot more air, it's still being filtered and comes out cleaner.
Yeah, before they enter to the AHU.
Why does the building have 2 separate skins instead of one continuous facade?
Since Singapore is located on right on the equator, so the façade system of the CapitaGreen is not like typical double façade system seen in the cold and mild climate, where double skin is used for enclosed conservatory space for heat storage. Our façade system is open in order not to capture the heat. We call this the the facade system permeable layer skin, which is an optimized facade system for the tropical climate, like in Singapore. There are two types of facade for CapitaGreen. There is the urban facade and the green facade. The urban facade is consists of double layered glass skin, and the green facade that provides a plantation, and in between the two glass layers. The outer layer of the urban facade, which is composed by 50 millimeters wide laminated glass panels in 250 millimeters apart, protects the building from receiving excess solar radiation. With the urban facade gaps between the two glasses, the outer glass panels are very, very important because for the wind to pass through the glass layers, double layers, and cool down the concrete ledge, which receives the solar radiation transferred from the outer skin. The temperature of the space between the layer of glasses is same as the air temperature of the air outside of the skin. The outer layer of the green facade, which is composed by 600 millimeters wide laminated glass panel, and in 1200 millimeters apart, protects plants from unpleasant wind. Wind blows constantly in the sky, high levels. That makes moisture away from the plant. So that gives damage for plantation. So the glass layer protect the plantation from the wind. According to the actual detected results, they work experimentally well to cut excess heat gain at the building perimeter.
You mentioned it a little bit at the end of your answer, but how does the greenery, all the plants incorporated throughout the building, for either of you, what benefit does that provide for the building, and why make greenery such a prominent component of this project?
I think this building is located in Singapore, and Singapore is a kind of place where you leave anything on an exposed area which gets a bit of sun and rain, it will just grow and it can thrive and stay healthy and alive along. So in a way, we think this is a very suitable typology for Singapore. To have green on the facade is almost like a way of organizing what would have occurred naturally in the first place in our climate. And of course, I think the other aspect of being green is the environmental sustainability. By having a lot of greenery on CapitaGreen, in fact, I think the green coverage is about 1.9 times the site area. We help to reduce the urban heat island effect. Third part is, of course, its psychological benefits for the tenants inside the building. Imagine you work in the middle of the city, and you look out of your window and you can see greenery in the middle. It's quite a welcome respite from the urban jungle that is surrounding them.
Do you think outside Singapore such a model would work?
It has to have the similar, I think, climatic attributes where I think rain and sunshine around the year, and there's no dry season, and the plants can stay well. And of course, the other aspect, I suppose, is Singapore has a very strong maintenance regime, and in order to ensure that these planters thrive well, the plants grow, and they don't sort of end up dead and dry, you need a pretty disciplined maintenance regime as well. And I think Singapore do have quite a strong in that sense.
Well, thank you both for your time.